People often ask me exactly what a futurist is. In fact, I was asked this here in America just today. Well, a futurist is simply someone who thinks about the future. I guess we all do that. Whether we have children and we think about their futures, whether we are running a business, in which case we are having to focus on the future. Every successful business thrives by anticipating what customers are going to want tomorrow and getting ready to provide those things. So all of us are futurists. We were trained from the day we were born to think about tomorrow. You know, what are you going to drink tomorrow? How are we going to get some food? How are we going to feed our people? How are we going to earn money? In our hunter-gatherer societies, we were trained as part of our genetic code to prepare homes to live in, to kill food for the following day, to conserve enough grain for the following year's harvest. To look at the sky and decide whether we think it's going to be a good day or whether it's going to rain, and to take plans accordingly. So futuring is fundamental to the animal kingdom, it's fundamental to human life, it's fundamental to every family, it's fundamental to every business, every politician, every organization. We all do it. So what is a futurist? Well, a futurist is just someone who is paid to think about the future all the time. And futurists are used as agents to provoke organizations to fresh thinking about the future, and that is why they tend to use them from outside rather than inside. Now, many organizations have inside futurists, professionals who are only thinking about trends inside that organization. But one of the greatest risks of any organization is what we call institutional blindness. It's when everyone wears the same pair of glasses because everyone went to the same business school, or they have been in the same oil company for a very long time, or even if they've not been in the same oil company, they've moved from job to job within the energy industry, say, so they have an energy industry perspective. And they don't see things that will be stark-ravingly obvious to those from outside of their industry. And that's why consultants, of course, have always had such a good living, because someone who comes in from the outside of a company can often see in a relatively short time some very important insights, which are quite elusive for those who are inside the organization, who are faced with those cultural things every day. So that's what a futurist is. It's usually an independent person coming in from outside, maybe contracted in to become a part of the team, but usually people with a slightly unusual background, people who are able to provoke, to challenge. They're not necessarily there to predict what's going to happen, because that's often extremely difficult, but at least to be able to identify background noises from the general trend, all these signals going on, to be able to spot an early signal that could well turn out to be a highly significant threat or an opportunity, to be able to re-weight or recalibrate various risks and opportunities, because often history shows that companies have already identified that particular trend, or they've already made that particular forecast, but they had not attached enough weight to it in order to make the right decisions. So external futurists are used just to get that added edge. Now, how far ahead do you have to be able to see to be useful? Well, if you're a foreign exchange trader with one of the largest banks in the world, you'll be grateful for anyone who can give you insight into where the market is going for the next 10 seconds. And you will be in profit forever if you can get that. On the other hand, if you're a big pharmaceutical company, you may have a 25-year frame because it takes 15 years to get a product through the pipeline, and then maybe you've got 10 years to market it before you've lost your patent. If you're an oil company, you need a 25 to 35-year frame, because that's how long the payback period will be for a major new exploration, then drilling wells, setting up all the infrastructure, and so on. So futuring has different timescales according to the industry, and most of it is the same in character. It's getting close to the business itself, it's understanding the external environment, it's thinking through in one's imagination what kind of potential possibilities could come in and conflict with that or complement it. It's trying to do research into what competitors are doing, how they're thinking and feeling, and above all, just keeping close to the consumer and how consumers are evolving, their needs, and most of all, how they feel. When you put all of those things together, you have the big basis for a small start. But that's not enough. You need to go further, and for that you have to talk to those who are making the future happen. Because you can see the future as just something that comes towards you as 100 miles an hour that you have to prepare for. Or you could say either we take hold of the future or the future takes hold of us. The future is something we invent, we create with our products, with our services, we develop new markets. We offer opportunities to people that weren't there before. All kinds of lifestyles become possible through our inventions, through our innovations, through our new methods. This is one of the most exciting parts of futuring. It's joining creative dynamic teams and turning visions into realities and making tomorrow's history happen today.